All right, so today we're gonna jump into this whole world of online therapy platforms.
Oh, yeah.
You know those apps like BetterHelp and Talkspace you see ads for all the time.
Yeah, they're everywhere.
So we're gonna do a deep dive into what it would actually take to build one of these platforms from scratch.
From the ground up.
Yeah, and I think this is really fascinating for anyone who's into tech but also wants to make a difference.
Right. Like healthcare and technology combined.
Exactly. Plus it's a pretty lucrative market too.
Oh, yeah. The research we have here is saying there's massive potential.
Really?
Like, we could be talking about over $1 million in revenue each year.
Wow.
But it's not just about the money, right? It's about reaching people who might not have access to traditional therapy.
That's a good point. I've always wondered, is online therapy actually as effective as seeing someone in person?
Yeah. Is it the real deal or what?
Exactly.
Well, the sources we've been looking at suggest that in some cases it might even be more effective.
Really?
Yeah, think about it. With traditional therapy, almost 20% of people drop out before they even finish treatment.
Oh, wow. That's a lot.
It is.
Hmm.
But with online therapy, those numbers go way down.
Why is that?
Convenience. It's so much easier to fit therapy into your life when you can do it from anywhere.
Right. No more driving across town, fighting traffic, finding parking.
Exactly. You can literally roll out of bed and into therapy if you want.
I like the sound of that.
It just removes so many barriers that keep people from getting help in the first place.
Okay, I'm sold on the concept, but how do we actually build this thing? Where do we even start?
Well, our sources lay out a pretty clear roadmap.
Okay.
First things first, you need those core features,
Right.
like secure video conferencing.
Of course, we're talking about people's mental health here. Privacy is key.
Absolutely. And that's where high PA compliance comes in.
PA.
Yeah, it's the law that protects your health information.
Yeah.
Make sure those therapy sessions are just as private as a doctor's appointment.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But I have to admit, I'm a little intimidated by the tech side of things.
I get it. It can seem overwhelming, but it's all about breaking it down into manageable pieces.
Okay, so break it down for me.
So for the front end, the part that users actually see and interact with,
Yeah.
our sources recommend using React.js.
React.js.
Yeah, it's a framework that helps you create a smooth and responsive user experience.
Okay, so it's like making sure the app is easy to use and looks good.
Exactly. It's like
Yeah.
the interior designer for your platform.
I like that analogy. So what about the back end? The stuff happening behind the scenes?
For that, Node.js is a popular choice.
Node.js.
It's known for its scalability, meaning your platform can handle more and more users and therapists without, crashing or slowing down.
So as the platform grows, it doesn't turn into a digital traffic jam.
Precisely. And then for the database where all the information is stored, like therapists, profiles, appointment schedules, all that,
Yeah.
PostgreSQL is a solid option.
PostgreSQL.
Yeah, it's super reliable and secure, so all that sensitive data is well protected.
Okay, so we've got the foundation built with all this tech. But this isn't just a hobby project, right?
Definitely not.
We need to figure out how to make money from this. What are the options?
Our sources outline a few different revenue models.
Ah.
The most common is the commission-cost approach.
Okay, how does that work?
Basically, the platform takes a percentage of each therapy session fee.
So if a therapist charges $80 for a session,
Yeah. And the platform takes a 20% cut.
that's $16 per session going to the platform.
Exactly.
But doesn't that kind of incentivize the platform to push therapists to do more and more sessions even when it's not in the client's best interest?
That's a valid concern.
Right.
You always have to think about the ethics involved.
Right.
But the platform also benefits from having therapists who are successful and keep their clients coming back long term.
Okay, so it's a balancing act.
It is.
Hmm.
What are some other ways to generate revenue? Well, there's the subscription model where therapists pay a monthly fee to access the platform and its pool of potential clients.
So it's like a gym membership for therapists.
Exactly. But our source points out that this model can be tricky because therapists might feel pressured to do more sessions just to cover that monthly fee.
Right. You don't want to create a system that burns them out.
Yeah, it's all about finding a pricing structure that's fair and sustainable for everyone.
Okay, that makes sense. Are there any other revenue streams worth exploring?
There's the paper-led model, where therapists pay a small fee for each new client inquiry. It's like a matchmaking service connecting them with people who are actively looking for therapy.
Interesting.
And then there are always those additional options like Advertising, partnering with wellness brands, even creating online courses or webinars on mental health topics.
So lots of possibility.
Tons. But no matter what model we choose, getting the word out is key.
Right, marketing is everything.
And our sources go deep into different strategies.
I'm curious about SEO. We hear that term thrown around all the time, but what does it actually mean for an online therapy platform?
SEO is all about making sure your platform shows up when someone searches for things like best online therapy or affordable online counseling.
Makes sense. People Google everything these days.
Exactly. So we need to make sure our website is optimized to rank high in those search results.
So it's like making sure our website speaks Google's language.
You got it. But it's not just about stuffing keywords everywhere. It's about creating high-quality content that actually helps people.
Give me an example.
Think blog posts about managing anxiety, tips for finding the right therapist, articles about different types of therapy.
So it's about becoming a trusted resource, not just another website trying to sell something.
Exactly. But let's be real, everyone's blogging about mental health these days.
True. How do we stand out from the crowd?
That's where it gets interesting. It's about finding your niche, showcasing what makes your platform unique, and creating content that people actually want to read and share.
Okay, so we need to be strategic about it.
We do. And speaking of sharing, what about social media?
Oh, yeah. Can therapists really build a following on platforms like TikTok and Instagram?
Absolutely. Think about it. Therapists are natural storytellers.
That's true. They help people through some of life's biggest challenges.
Right. And those stories can be incredibly powerful and relatable.
So it's not just about posting inspirational quotes or selfies with your therapy dog.
No, it's about sharing real stories of transformation, highlighting client successes, with their permission, of course, and breaking down mental health stigma in an authentic way.
And video testimonials could be really impactful, right?
Oh, yes, seeing real people talk about how online therapy helped them overcome their challenges. That's gold.
Totally. And what about influencer marketing? Could that work in this space?
Definitely. Partnering with mental health advocates who have a large following can expose your platform to a whole new audience.
So it's like finding those trusted voices in the mental health world and amplifying their message?
Exactly. And it goes beyond social media, too. Think about sponsoring podcasts that focus on mental health or personal growth.
Okay, so we've got SEO, social media, influencer marketing. It's a lot to juggle.
It is. But don't forget about those good old-fashioned referral programs.
Oh, yeah. Those are still effective.
Incredibly. You can offer discounts to clients who refer their friends or reward therapists for bringing new clients onto the platform.
It's like a win-win for everyone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It builds community and encourages organic growth.
And of course, there's always paid advertising.
Right.
I'm picturing those targeted ads on Facebook and Google reaching people who are actively searching for mental health support.
Exactly. Paid advertising can be a powerful tool, but you have to use it strategically.
Meaning what?
You need to target the right audience with the right message and constantly track your results to make sure you're getting a return on your investment.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here. We've talked about building the platform, monetizing it, marketing it.
We're just getting started.
But let's be real, there are always challenges, right?
Oh, for sure.
Like data privacy is a huge one, especially when we're dealing with such sensitive information.
Absolutely. And our sources are very clear about this. Strong encryption and compliance with IPA and GDPR are non-negotiable.
Okay, so those are the regulations designed to protect people's health information.
Right. It's all about making sure that data is handled responsibly.
But what does that look like in practice? Like, how do we make sure our platform is super secure but still easy to use?
It's a multi-layered approach.
Yeah.
We're talking SSL encryption for all data transmissions, two-factor authentication to prevent unauthorized access, and regular security audits to identify any vulnerabilities.
Wow. So it's like building a fortress around our users' data.
Exactly. But it's not just about the technology. It's also about educating users on how to protect their own information.
Like choosing strong passwords and being aware of phishing scams.
Exactly. It's a shared responsibility. We build a secure platform, but users also need to do their part.
Right. So we've talked about data security, but what about the therapists themselves? How do we make sure we have enough qualified professionals to meet the demand?
That's a great question.
And how do we vet them properly? We're talking about people's mental health here, so quality control is crucial.
You're absolutely right. Our sources emphasize the need for thorough vetting processes.
Okay, what does that involve?
We're talking verifying licenses and certifications, checking references, conducting background checks.
So we're doing our due diligence.
Absolutely. And once therapists are on board, it's important to have a system for ongoing quality assurance.
So it's not just a one-time check.
Definitely not. It's
Okay.
about ongoing monitoring, gathering feedback from clients,
Hmm.
and having a clear process for addressing any concerns or complaints.
Right, because even the most qualified therapist can have a bad day or make a mistake. It's about having a system in place to catch those issues and make sure clients are getting the best possible care.
Exactly. And what about building trust?
Oh, yeah, that's a big one. It can be hard to open up to a therapist you've never met in person.
It can. Our sources recommend being super transparent about everything.
Like,
Showcase therapist credentials prominently. Offer free initial consultations. Highlight positive client reviews. It's all about making the platform feel trustworthy and human, not cold and clinical.
right, because at the end of the day, therapy is about human connection. It's about building a relationship based on trust and empathy.
Exactly. And let's not forget about the elephant in the room,
What's that?
competition.
Oh, yeah. There are already so many online therapy platforms out there. How can a new platform stand out in such a crowded market?
That's where things get strategic. Our sources suggest focusing on niche markets, offering unique features, and creating a brand that truly resonates with your target audience.
So instead of trying to be everything to everyone, we find our specialty.
Exactly.
Give me an example.
Maybe your platform caters specifically to teens or veterans or LGBTQ+ individuals.
Okay, so we're carving out our own space instead of trying to conquer the entire territory.
Exactly. By catering to a specific niche, you can tailor your marketing, attract the right therapists, and build a strong community.
Makes sense. What about unique features?
Think outside the box. Maybe you integrate mindfulness exercises or offer group therapy sessions.
Well, I like that.
Or maybe you partner with wellness brands to offer discounts on things like meditation apps or healthy meal delivery services.
So we're creating a whole ecosystem around mental well-being, not just therapy sessions in isolation.
Exactly. It's about adding value and going above and beyond what your competitors are doing.
And branding is important too, right?
Absolutely. You need a brand that feels authentic, trustworthy, and appealing to your target audience.
Oh,
Think about your colors, your logo, the tone of voice you use in your marketing materials.
it's like creating a personality for your platform, something that people can connect with.
Exactly. Branding is all about creating an emotional connection.
Okay, so we've got niche targeting, unique features, branding. Anything else we need to consider when it comes to competition?
One word, innovation.
Aiming.
The online therapy space is constantly evolving. So you can't just build a platform and then sit back and relax.
Right, we have to keep moving forward.
Exactly. You need to keep experimenting, exploring new technologies, finding ways to improve the user experience.
Give me an example.
Maybe you integrate virtual reality into therapy sessions, or explore the use of AI to personalize treatment plans.
Wow, that's next level stuff.
It is. The future of therapy is wide open.
It's pretty exciting.
It is. But remember, building a successful platform takes time, effort, and a whole lot of hustle.
It's a marathon, not a sprint.
Exactly. But with the right approach, the rewards, both financial and social, can be huge.
Okay, I'm feeling inspired. But let's get down to brass tacks.
Yeah.
Can we actually make money doing this?
Let's talk numbers.
All right, hit me with them.
Our sources actually break down the costs involved,
Okay.
and they give some estimates on potential revenue.
I'm all ears.
You know, it's interesting to think about this platform as like more than just a business.
Right.
It's like we could actually make a difference in people's lives.
That's what I'm really excited about, the social impact.
Absolutely. Like,
Yeah.
imagine reaching those who wouldn't normally have access to therapy.
Right? Like people in rural areas or people with disabilities who have trouble getting to appointments.
Exactly. Online therapy really levels the playing field,
It's like bringing therapy right to their living room.
right on their own terms.
And I've also read that online therapy can be helpful for people who are intimidated by that whole traditional therapy setting.
Yeah, that makes sense. Like, there's still a lot of stigma around mental health.
Yeah.
And for some people, the anonymity of online therapy can be a game changer.
Right. They don't have to worry about running into someone they know in the waiting room.
Exactly.
Okay. I want to circle back to the tech side of things for a minute. We talked about React.js for the front end and Node.js for the back end,
Yeah,
but choosing the right tech stack is crucial, right?
absolutely. It's like picking the foundation for your house.
Okay.
You need something solid and reliable.
So explain why React.js is so important for a platform like this.
Well, it's all about creating that smooth, responsive experience that users expect these days. Like, people are used to apps that are super fast and easy to use.
Right.
So if someone's trying to schedule a therapy session on their phone
Yeah.
and the app is clunky or slow,
Yeah.
they're going to get frustrated and give up.
Makes sense. So React.js is like the architect making sure the user experience is top-notch.
Exactly. And then on the back end, you've got Node.js, which is all about efficiency and scalability.
Right, you talked about that earlier.
Yeah, it means your platform can handle all those users and all that data without, like, crashing or slowing down.
It's like a highway system that can handle rush hour traffic.
Perfect analogy.
And then we have PostgreSQL for the database. It's
Yeah.
all about keeping that sensitive data safe and sound.
Exactly. Secure and reliable.
Okay, so we've got the foundation of our platform built with all this tech,
Yeah.
but we can't forget about one crucial element:
What's that?
video conferencing.
Ah, yes. The heart of online therapy.
Exactly. We need a system that's crystal clear, reliable, and user-friendly.
Of course. Like, imagine a session dropping in the middle of a breakthrough moment.
Oh, that's the worst case scenario.
So do we build our own video conferencing system, or are there like ready-made solutions out there?
I mean, building it from scratch would be a massive undertaking.
Yeah.
And honestly, there are already some fantastic options available.
Okay, like what?
Our sources recommend integrating APIs from companies like Twilio or Zoom.
I've heard of those.
They're the leaders in video communication, so we're basically leveraging their expertise.
So it's like we're borrowing a top-of-the-line camera instead of trying to build one ourselves.
Exactly. It saves us time and resources, and we know it's going to work flawlessly.
Right. But even with the best technology in place, security is paramount.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
We're dealing with super sensitive health information.
It's like handling gold bullion.
Exactly. We need to be extra careful.
We talked about HIPAA, compliance encryption, all those safeguards.
Great.
But how do we explain all that to users in a way that doesn't make their eyes glaze over?
Transparency is key. Lay out your security measures in plain English.
Mm-hmm.
No legal jargon.
Yeah.
Just tell users exactly how their data is protected and what steps you're taking to keep it safe.
Okay.
And be upfront about the risks.
Okay.
No system is 100% foolproof.
Right. It's like having a security system at home.
Exactly.
You lock your doors, but you also tell your family to be vigilant and report anything suspicious.
Perfect analogy.
Okay.
So now let's talk about the development process itself.
All right.
Building a platform like this isn't like whipping up a batch of cookies. It's a journey.
Okay.
And our sources break it down into 3 key phases.
3 phases.
Yeah. First up, market research and validation.
So before we write a single line of code, we need to make sure there's actually a need for this platform.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We need to understand our target audience,
Yeah.
their needs, their
Yeah.
pain points, what they're already using, and what's missing.
So it's like we wouldn't open a pizza place without checking if people in the neighborhood actually like pizza.
Right. Exactly. So how do we gather this information? Well, our sources recommend a mix of methods. Surveys, focus groups, analyzing competitors like BetterHelp and Talkspace, and diving deep into market research reports.
So we're doing our homework.
Exactly. We're gathering all the intel to make sure our platform is truly meeting a need.
Okay, so once we've validated our idea and understand the market, what's next?
Phase 2, MVP development.
MVP, minimum viable product.
You got it. It's like building a prototype, a bare-bones version of your platform with just the essential features.
So we're not trying to build the Taj Mahal right out of the gate.
Exactly. We're starting with a basic shelter and then adding on as we go.
Makes sense. So what's the point of an MVP?
It allows us to get our platform in front of users, quickly gather feedback, and iterate based on real-world usage.
So it's like a beta test.
Yeah, exactly. We get feedback from those early adopters and make sure we're building something people actually want to use.
I like it. And then what's phase 3?
Scaling and marketing. This is where we take our platform to the masses.
Right, bring on the marketing magic.
Exactly. It's about creating a multi-pronged approach, reaching our target audience wherever they are, and convincing them that our platform is the best choice.
But with so many online therapy platforms already out there, how do we cut through all the noise? How do we convince people to choose our platform?
That's the million-dollar question.
Mm-hmm.
And it brings us to a crucial aspect, competition.
Okay, let's talk about competition.
You've got big names like BetterHelp, Talkspace, Cerebral.
Yeah, they're everywhere.
How do we compete with that?
Exactly.
Well, our sources offer some interesting insights.
Okay.
One strategy is niche targeting. Instead of trying to be everything to everyone, we focus on a specific segment of the market.
Okay, so instead of being just another online therapy platform, we become the platform for what? Give me an example.
Let's say we specialize in therapy for young adults dealing with anxiety and stress.
Okay.
Or maybe we become the go-to platform for LGBTQ plus individuals seeking culturally competent care.
So we're carving out our own space instead of trying to conquer the entire territory.
Exactly. By catering to a specific niche, you can tailor your marketing. attract the right therapists, and build a strong community.
It's like being a boutique bookstore specializing in rare first editions instead of trying to compete with Amazon.
Perfect analogy. And another way to stand out is by offering unique features or services.
We talked about AI-powered therapist matching and multilingual therapy.
Right.
What else could we offer?
Think outside the box. Maybe we integrate mindfulness exercises or offer group therapy sessions. Or maybe we partner with wellness brands to offer discounts on meditation apps or healthy meal delivery services.
So we're creating a whole ecosystem around mental well-being.
Exactly. It's about adding value and going above and beyond what your competitors are doing.
And let's not forget about branding.
Oh yeah, branding is crucial.
A strong brand can really make a difference in a crowded market, right?
Absolutely. You need a brand that feels authentic, trustworthy, and appealing to your target audience.
Right.
Think about your colors, your logo, the tone of voice you use.
It's like giving your platform a personality.
Exactly. You want people to feel like they connect with your brand on an emotional level.
Okay, so you've got niche, targeting unique features and branding. Any other strategies for winning in this competitive landscape?
One word, innovation.
Innovation.
The online therapy space is constantly evolving.
Right.
So we can't just rest on our laurels.
We need to keep pushing forward.
Exactly. Experiment with new technologies. Find ways to improve the user experience.
So do you mean example?
Maybe we integrate virtual reality into therapy sessions.
Wow.
Or explore the use of AI to personalize treatment plans.
That's like the future of therapy right there.
It is, and it's incredibly exciting. But remember, building a successful platform takes time, effort, and a whole lot of hustle.
It's a marathon, not a sprint.
Absolutely. But with the right approach, the rewards, both financial and social, can be immense.
Okay, I'm feeling inspired. But let's get down to the nitty-gritty. Can we actually make money doing this?
Well, let's talk numbers. All right, so let's dive into the financials.
Yeah, because we're talking about building this amazing platform with the potential to really help people.
Right.
But at the end of the day, it is a business.
Exactly. We want to make sure it's sustainable.
So let's talk numbers.
Yeah.
Our sources actually give us some estimates on the costs involved.
Okay.
And I gotta say, it's not exactly cheap.
Well, building a sophisticated platform like this does require some upfront investment.
Okay, so what are we talking about?
Well, they estimate that developing the website and the app could range anywhere from like $20,000 to $100,000.
Wow, that's a pretty wide range.
It is. It all depends on the complexity of the features you want to include.
Right. Makes sense. But that's just the initial cost, right? What about all those ongoing expenses?
Oh, yeah, you got to factor those in too.
Like what?
Think about things like server costs, marketing legal fees,
Oh.
customer support.
Oh, yeah, and payment processing fees.
Exactly. It all adds up.
It's starting to sound like we need a venture capitalist on speed dial.
Well, maybe.
Eh.
But before you start making those calls, let's look at the potential upside. Our sources paint a pretty compelling picture.
Okay, I like compelling pictures.
They present a scenario where if we have 500 therapists, each conducting 5 sessions per week at $80 per session,
Okay.
and the platform takes a 20% commission,
Okay, I'm doing the math in my head. Hold on.
we're looking at a potential revenue of $40,000 per month.
$40,000 a month. Not bad at all.
Not bad at all. And if we can scale up to, say, 1,000 therapists,
Or even more.
exactly, we could be looking at annual revenue exceeding $1 million.
$1 million? All right, now we're talking. But let's be realistic for a second. Those
Yeah.
are just projections, right?
Of course.
What could potentially throw those numbers off track?
Well, you're right to be cautious.
Mm.
It's not a guaranteed path to riches.
Right.
The actual revenue will depend on a lot of factors.
Like what?
How effectively you market the platform,
Hmm.
the quality and availability of your therapists, the overall demand for online therapy.
And of course, the competition.
Right, the competition is fierce.
It is. So even with all this potential for profit, there are still risks involved.
There are risks with any business venture.
True, but hey, high risk, high reward, right?
That's the entrepreneurial spirit. But even beyond the financial gains, let's not forget about the social impact we talked about earlier.
Right.
If our platform helps even one person access the mental health care they need,
Yeah,
that's a win in my book.
I agree. It's not just about building a business, it's about making a difference.
Exactly. And that's something worth striving for.
So what does this all mean for you, dear listener? We've unpacked a ton of information today.
We have.
From the technical side of building a platform to the marketing strategies, to the financial projections, and even the potential pitfalls.
We covered a lot of ground.
We did. Hopefully, this deep dive has given you a better understanding of the online therapy world.
Yeah, maybe it sparks some ideas.
Maybe you're thinking about starting your own platform.
Or maybe you're just more informed about the future of mental health care.
Either way, knowledge is power. And here's a final thought to leave you with. What unique features or services do you think are missing from the current online therapy landscape?
Yeah, what would make a platform truly stand out? What would meet the evolving needs of clients?
What would make you want to sign up in a heartbeat?
Exactly. Think about it.
The possibilities are endless, and the future of online therapy is ripe for innovation.
So go out there, dream big, and maybe even disrupt the industry with your groundbreaking ideas.
That's a wrap on this deep dive into online therapy platforms. Thanks for joining us.
And remember, stay curious.